What's up, everybody? This is Heavy here. Back with another update video and everything Vocaloid. So, first off, I'm gonna give you the update. I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is the hard drive works. It definitely was the hard drive. The hard drive is swapped out and it's in. Bad news is we got the VirtualBox didn't work. So I'm kind of at a stalemate. I can't make a portable version of Windows. So I think there are some ways to be able to do that through some other programs, but I don't know. I don't know if it still saves all your programs, because when it comes to mixing and composing, it's definitely a lot. It's a USB is not going to hold all of the software. So I don't know. I'm definitely taking a huge risk by doing that. But Linux is definitely a good alternative to it. And basically what happened in the VirtualBox is that when I did, the VirtualBox is running, FL Studio was running, the registration was running, but when I got the FL Studio running, not all of the plugins wanted to launch. So that was my problem. And I definitely need all of my plugins to be running, because I use every single plugin in FL Studio. But FL Studio is definitely a beast, so I'm definitely not surprised that it didn't work in the VirtualBox. But my workaround is to make a full setup for all genres of music inside of Linux. And I've already played with it just a little bit. But the thing is, my main priority is to get my software back so that I can get the channel running. And thanks to Windows, I now have to download all of my drivers again. So thank you, Windows, for that. That's very awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having like no default drivers and shit like that. Goddamn. That work with my goddamn hardware. But anyway, I gotta download all the drivers again that came with my computer, but so I'm hoping by the end of January I should be back. Hopefully sooner. So I'm definitely gonna freaking really get to work on this fucking shit. But as far as the setup for Linux, that's my second priority. It's kind of gonna be an experiment in the meantime, because I made a post on Linux musicians and they were actually very responsive. So thank you to Linux musicians. So I have to create a setup for all genres of music inside of Linux. As far as electronic synthesizers, you're practically good. You have like basically endless amount of electronic synthesizers for both Windows and Linux, so that's not a problem. There is a guitar for Linux. There is some pretty good guitar samples and guitar sims, amp sims just as well for Linux, so it just takes finding those. My main priority was the orchestras, the choirs, and the world instruments. I don't know if they pointed me to any good choirs, so that's a little bit of a problem. I still have to work that out. But as far as the orchestral instruments, there's definitely not going to be any good ones as far as when it comes to Contact. But I did do an experiment by layering all of the orchestral instruments and then mix it to be able to get up to Nucleus standards, in which Nucleus is a plugin or a library that I bought for Contact, and it was basically like $500, and it's really super freaking good. It comes with 16 violins, 16 second violins, I think it was like 10 violas, 8 cellos, and 4 double basses, and so on. So that's a pretty good freaking orchestra right there. And I love it too, because a lot of the freaking orchestras and their second violins have 14 violins and not 16. So that's goddamn. So yeah, that's why I freaking love Nucleus. But anyway, but I was able to layer all of the free instruments and get up to Nucleus standards. So I was basically on the post of Linux musicians like, look guys, I gotta take everything I can get. Okay. And they did point me to some really good sounding orchestra samples. So in order to do that, I still got to experiment with them. I still got to layer all of them and see if I can get up to Nucleus standards. As far as the world instruments, there was very lacking. I couldn't find anything in Linux. They did point me to some, so that was really awesome. I do have some options when it comes to world instruments, and I'm smoking right now. I gotta smoke right now. I might be able to get the DSK working on Linux just as well, which they have some world instruments too. And not only that, for like, I think it was like 20 or 25 bucks, they have a sample pack that you can download from them, that you can buy from them, from DSK, and they have a good set of world instruments in that just as well. So all of that put together, I got a lot of options, or I got a lot of options, at least, if I can get them all working. And I can eventually go out through a tutorial with Linux, how to install everything, how to get everything working, and get a full-on setup for every single genre of music out there. Okay, so I should be able to do that. I have a lot of options. I don't know about the choir. The choirs, I think they missed the choir on Linux musicians, because I did mention the choir, but I'll have to see what goes on with that. If I'll have to see. I just have to see. But anyway, as far as Vocaloid, that's what the VirtualBox is for. FL Studio, I'm not surprised that it didn't work in VirtualBox, but because it's so much of a beast. But Vocaloid, as small as that is, especially Utau, I should be able to get it running in the VirtualBox, so that any Vocaloid musician, we can use Linux, and then have a VirtualBox, and then use Vocaloid in the VirtualBox. If they don't want to use Vocaloid or anything like that, or if I can't get it running, Synth-V is a good alternative to it as well. So, anyway, and of course, composing with Utau is just tedious in general, because you have to have in order to play it real time, you have to have the Utau say 1, 2, 3, and then on a DAW, you put your instrument in a WAV file inside the VirtualBox, and then when she says 1, 2, 3, 4 on beat 1, then you press play, and then she'll sing with the instruments, and then you'll be able to have get a gist of what sounds good, what doesn't sound good when you're composing a new Utau. So that's kind of how that would work. So that's still pretty small within itself, so I think it should work inside of VirtualBox. So anyway, hopefully I can do some commentaries in the future. Next video might even be a commentary, Vocaloid and anime related. But anyway, that's what's up right now. Thank you for all the support. Oh yeah, the commentaries will just be now and then, every now and then, because I still want this channel to be focused on my music. But anyway, thank you for all the support. Seriously, you guys really kept me going. That jump from 20 to 41 subscribers was the one that was mainly the one that kept me going. And when I saw that jump, I was just like, man, I wish I could have done something. But because I'm in this frickin' shithole right now, with frickin' computers and shit, trying to make everything work, I really just can't. But I'm definitely gonna set my first priority to get this channel back and running. So anyway, thanks for all the support. I'm still here, even though I was actually trying to get away from it. I'm still here and I can't get away from it. So thanks guys. Hopefully we can have some fun with commentary videos in the future. Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next one.